David Sears, who's managed by actor Burt Young of Rocky fame. Tonight we take a departure from the glitter and glamour of the Atlantic City casino setting, and we bring it to the quaint little borough of Totowa, New Jersey. We go from the white-collar surroundings to the blue-collar community here in northern New Jersey. Heavyweight Scott Frank out of Oakland, New Jersey takes on the brawling Steve Zowski of Brockton, Massachusetts. Also tonight, the WBA Flyweight Championship, Santos Laciar versus Stephen Machoki. In byways around northern New Jersey by night. And yes, we are live at the Ice World in Totowa, New Jersey.
Unbeaten in 20 fights, 15 by knockout, and seeking higher fame. Czyz is the fans' choice here in Atlantic City's Convention Hall as he faces his toughest opponent. 20-year-old Bobby Czyz on the road to a possible world middleweight title. He faces third-ranked Mustafa Hamsho. Also tonight, ranked third in the world, Tony Ayala, 19, San Antonio, unbeaten in 21 fights. A win away from a shot at the junior middleweight championship. And the champion, WBC light heavyweight title holder Dwight Muhammad Qawi, formerly Dwight Braxton, defends his world title tonight. Czyz and Hamsho moments away from the opening bell. What promises to be a solid night of action as NBC Sports presents Ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a non-title bout. It's scheduled for 10 rounds, and it's in the middleweight division. The judges, Tommy Kazmarek and Harold Letterman. The timekeeper to bell is Roy Johnson. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee, Vinny Rainone. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 10-round middleweight bout, referee Larry Hazard. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First, in the red corner, wearing the red trunks with the white trim, he is weighing in at 159.5 pounds. This gentleman has a record of 34 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, with 21 knockouts. He is a native of Latakia, Syria, and now residing in Bayonne, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mustafa Hamsho. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the red and green trim, along with the green and red lettering. He is tipping the scales at 159.75 pounds. This young man is undefeated in 20 professional bouts with 15 knockouts. The New Jersey State middleweight champion from Waunakee, New Jersey. Boxing fans, here is Bobby Chappie Czyz. Czyz.
And now with a blow-by-blow, let's go down to Freddie Pacheco and Marv Albert.
Thank you, Dick, and good evening, everyone. Mustafa Hamsho claims that Bobby Czyz is strictly a television-manufactured fighter, that he has not beaten anyone of note, that he has been fed a diet of easy tests. Czyz feels it's time to silence his critics, and there's no question that Czyz is the fan favorite going in. 20 years old, an undefeated record, 20-0. 15 by knockout. His last bout, September the 25th, a second-round KO of Chris Linson. Czyz has won his last 3 by early knockout. His style always looks to put the pressure on, keeps coming. And a relentless brawler inside. Mustafa Hamsho, the 29-year-old out of Syria, 34-2, 1 draw, 21 by knockout. He is a southpaw. His only 2 losses to the world middleweight champion Marvin Hagler back in October of 1981. He was stopped 2 minutes 9 seconds into round 11, sustaining cuts that required 50 stitches. And the only other loss, first ever professional fight, a 6-round split decision. Freddie, what's going on in the corner of Hamsho?
Hazard saw too much tape, and they removed the excessive tape and now have taped it in the regulation way a couple of times around and cut off the tape. There was just too much tape on there for Hazard. When you when you heel with a glove, all that tape is rough on the face and can cut Czyz, so he got rid of the tape.
And this is round 1, scheduled for 10. Hamsho in the red and Czyz in the white. Hamsho has not fought since May the 22nd. In fact, he fought as a light heavyweight and came up with a 3rd-round knockout of Gil Rosario, so it's been a long layoff for Hamsho.
That, of course, is one of the questions that's being asked. Can he take all that weight off? He is really thin right now. As thin as I've seen Mustafa Hamsho in the times we've seen him on NBC. He's been down training in Miami Beach, where the weather's very hot and more to his liking than up here. So he's fine and trim. Let's see how much ring rust he's got on him. Bobby, on the other hand, has been fighting regularly.
Bobby Czyz weighing in at 159 3/4, and Mustafa Hamsho at 159.5, and it's a feeling out opening for both Czyz and Hamsho.
Czyz switching back and forth, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. I don't understand what he's doing with that. He's never fought that way before. He just switches his leads and doesn't seem to confuse Hamsho, who's standing right in front of him.
Czyz coming out, trying to surprise Hamsho with the southpaw style. Good left hand by Hamsho.
Hamsho, a brawler. Look at that shoulder he just put into him.
And Larry Hazard said, watch the shoulder. This could be a very tough bout for the referee, because Mustafa Hamsho is one, as Lou Duva in the corner of Bobby Czyz has said, could wear a glove on his head.
And his elbow and his shoulder. He is of the mauling, brawling style of street fighter.
And Czyz feels he has to control Hamsho's head and elbows. In fact, Czyz said he feels it'll start out as a clean fight, but he looks for Hamsho to start resorting to so-called dirty tactics if he feels he's behind. Those are the words of Bobby Czyz. Of course, Hamsho feels differently about it.
I don't think Hamsho feels too differently about it. Hamsho acknowledges that his style is just one of those mauling, brawling styles, and he goes right at it from the first round. The control will depend on how Bobby Czyz moves and how he controls him in this fight. So far, he's been switching back and forth, lefty, righty, giving him some movement, giving him some side to side, and trying to get off a jab first. It has not been a wildly eventful round, except that we already get a hint of things to come by that shoulder.
And Hamsho on the attack and connecting on Czyz. We are final seconds, round 1, and we'll follow Mustafa Hamsho into his corner when this round concludes. Matches the journey that ended with the airplane tragedy, but Bobby was involved in a car accident, suffering a nose injury, and it forced him to resign from the team. So Bobby says he has much to be thankful for. This is round 2.
Patty Flood instructing Hamsho, you're waiting too long, you're letting him do the leading and controlling the fight, you must come out and take command. He did do that, and I thought Bobby Bobby Czyz took that first round, very slight margin because Hamsho, low blow by Hamsho. Bobby can't stand and look for help from the referee, though. It's protect yourself at all times in this ring. Hamsho teeing off.
What do you make of the southpaw style of Czyz?
Czyz in an attempt to depart from what got him here and confuse Hamsho. Hamsho's not confused at all by it. He's faced a lot of left-handers. Bobby ought to go with what brought him here, his strength.
And now Czyz back to the conventional style.
He got here with a conventional style and the style of leading and controlling the fight. Right now, Hamsho's controlling this round.
Right hand by Czyz, prompting the reaction from the crowd.
Czyz not fighting with the strength and authority that we've seen before, and that's because he's facing Mustafa Hamsho, the #3 man who's got championship experience, and he's tentative. Bobby Czyz is tentative. He is feeling out when he should be commanding.
Could be that Czyz is pacing himself. He felt that he would not be able to knock out Hamsho, which is a candid remark from a fighter going into a bout. And he said he looked for a 10-round affair.
A reasonable assumption from a thinking fighter. Nobody knocks out Mustafa Hamsho. If Hagler couldn't do it, I doubt if Czyz's chances are big. Now let's take a look at that distance between the two, and you can see Bobby is maintaining a very respectful distance. He's got to get in there, close that with a jab. He's got to follow the jab with the right hand and get in closer. Right now he's standing right in front. No side-to-side motion, right in front of Mustafa, and he's lucky that Mustafa's not getting off.
And we are coming up to the end of round 2 here at Atlantic City, New Jersey. We'll be right back. And there is Eddie Davis, 31 years old, out of Freeport, Long Island, as he prepares to go up against White Muhammad Quawi, also known as White Braxton, who will be defending his light heavyweight title. That'll be later on right here on NBC. Along with Dick Enberg and the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, this is Marv Albert from Convention Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And this is round 3. Bobby Czyz in the white and Mustafa Hamsho in the red. Under the New Jersey State Athletic Commission rules, scoring is on the round system. And if the round is even, they go to the 5-point must system. There's the rolling style, and Hamsho caught with the right hand from Czyz.
He got caught between the maul and the brawl.
Scoring handled by the referee, Larry Hazard. And the judges, Harold Lenneman and Tommy Kazmarek. 3 knockdown rule is waived, and the bell does not save the fighter except in the final round.
They're bumping heads an awful lot right now, and that's bad for Hamsho because Hamsho can cut. Already he's got a little nick on the right brow.
Mustafa Hamsho has been upset about the press notices he has receiving recently. Says he is not in the twilight of his career, as some boxing people have charged. So this is a major bout for him here tonight.
Major bout for both fighters. He's #3 in the world. I don't think too many people underrate Mustafa Hamsho. Bobby's been told to uppercut because as Mustafa comes in, he leans forward. He has not uppercutted yet. Silva keeps insisting, try the uppercut, try the uppercut.
And we're under a minute remaining. Good combination by Hamsho in this final minute, 3rd round.
Oh, look at that head by Mustafa.
And Lou Duva screaming from the corner. of Czyz to Larry Hazard. Watch the head of Hamsho.
And what was worse, he did it on the break as Hamsho was trying to break him. I mean, as the referee, Larry Hazard, was trying to break him. Oh, good shot by Hamsho.
Hamsho continues to get that right hand in. And then swarms on Czyz. And following this third round, we're going to stay right here and visit in the corner of Bobby Czyz, who has been taking a pounding here in this third round. Well, let's listen in.
All right, Bobby?
Get rid of this. Yeah. No,
what I'm saying, listen to me. I got the nose.
This is what I'm saying to you, Bobby. Bobby, listen. Don't sit back on the ropes. Take a little stutter step and move and punch. Now listen.
All right, take it easy.
I want you to jam the right hand. I want you to snap up. I want you to jam the right hand up on his stomach.
All right, settle down, Bobby.
You understand?
Now, come on. Let's stop.
You can jam the right hand to his stomach. You understand? I got it. No, I don't want you to watch that, Bobby. Watch you jamming the right hand up on his stomach. It's open there. It's my right hand side. After the jab, bend inside, go and rip the right hand. Jam it up in there.
Fourth round, Bobby.
Okay?
Come on, let's go start going. Come on.
All right, the words of trainer Tommy Parks and manager Lou Dubin. In the corner of Bobby Czyz, what does the fight doctor scorecard look like?
Quite unofficially, I got Hamsho ahead 2-1. I think Hamsho's doing the aggressive part of the fighting, and he's been landing in the latter part of each round. Bobby seems curiously inactive. I hate to use the word frozen, but that's exactly what he looks like.
Czyz getting pounded by the combination of Hamsho.
Again, Hazard doesn't like the linebacker technique of Mustafa Hamsho. Curious inactivity by Bobby, who's got to be punching. You're wondering if this big fight is too big for him at this stage of his career.
It is all Mustafa Hamsho, and it has nothing to do with the mauling, brawling style. He's getting in with clean shots on Czyz.
Bobby's not fighting. He's not punching in return, and Mustafa will eat you up if you don't punch back.
Hamsho also looking very confident, picking away on Czyz.
As well he should. I don't think he's landed this many clean shots on anybody in years.
Good right hand by Hamsho in the red trunks. Czyz in the white.
Hamsho able to land hooks and putting a lot of authority and power with that left hook.
Good right hand. Czyz continues to get hit.
Bobby standing right in front of him without any motion or any desire to get away to either side, and that is all in Hamsho's favor.
We've passed the halfway mark. Round 4. Bobby Czyz opening southpaw style, then switching to conventional, looking to bother Hamsho. It had no effect at all. Hamsho very patiently getting to Czyz through rounds 2 and 3, and well in front here in round 4.
If Bobby doesn't keep those gloves up, that left hook is going to keep cutting off the right side of his face. And Mustafa's devastating weapon is that left hook. He's almost owns the right side of Bobby's face.
Doubling up on the right. Czyz with very little impact though on those blows. The crowd came alive, but Czyz had nothing going. And Czyz really taking a beating now.
Right hooks coming in by Mustafa.
Right hand by Czyz. Hamsho indicating that it had no effect as we come up to the end of round 4. So Bobby Czyz, who has been untested, looking to silence his critics here this evening, has a long way to go as we come to the end of the round. A look at Bobby Czyz before the fight began on the left, and Czyz right now as we open up in round 5. Is it that Czyz is over his head?
That we won't know, and that's what this fight's about. Could it be that he made the mistake of waiting patiently to come down the home stretch 5 through 10? If he did, what a mistake. They want him to move. Lou Duva wants him to move to the left first, to the right first, not to stand in front of him. But his legs seem curiously like two chunks of ice. They don't look like they're moving Bobby Czyz around.
And Czyz is back to the southpaw style, but Hamsho having no difficulty at all. Mustafa Hamsho in the red, 29 years old, from Latakia, Syria. Record of 34-2, 1 draw, 21 by knockout. One of the losses to the champion, Marvin Hagler. Hamsho had won 27 in a row before losing to Hagler.
Bobby just leaping in to smother Hamsho, and they hit heads. Hamsho's face a great question as to whether he could take those stiff popping jabs of Czyz. Has not opened up. And on the other hand, Bobby Czyz's face is getting very lumpy.
Tony Ayala, the excellent junior middleweight who we may see later on, sitting at ringside, points out that Bobby is intimidated by all the rough stuff of Hamsho. And he better just let it all hang out.
Something happened. Something happened. He just got a thumb in the eye. Hamsho just got a thumb in his eye. He can't see out of the right side of his eye. Bobby has been keeping an open glove with a thumb sticking out. That's the kind of injury that causes you to be partially blinded in this round. And it's caused Hamsho to quit fighting.
Hamsho tried to work it out, and he did get caught with the right hand.
The left eye blinking away, tears coming down.
Stay off the head.
Oh, Bobby working with his head almost as fast. He gets a warning now. Hazard trying to keep control of this fight. I'm telling you both, said Larry Hazard. Stop with the head.
And following the opening round assault by Hamsho using the head and the elbow, he has been pure to this point.
He doesn't need to be dirty. He's landing those punches right where he wants them, on the tip of his glove.
Towel for a second. You got it. Just bend a little. You're not working the body as much. That's why you got it.
He puts his head to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Then go for the 1-2. A lot of pressure, side to side. 1-2. Like in the ring. Side to side.
Patty Flood complaining about the thumb that Hamsho took in his right eye. But Patty very low-key in the corner. Appears that he feels Hamsho has this fight well in command. And here's Hamsho right out at Czyz as Czyz backpedals. We're underway. Round 6, scheduled for 10.
Just landed a good counter right hand as Mustafa got careless. There it is again. There it is again.
Combination by Czyz.
The corner hollering, no switching, no switching. They're finally getting the message that you just cannot switch back and forth. Stay with what got you here. Since the first round, he is finally getting up on his feet and boxing. Low blow by Bobby Czyz.
Oh, combination by Hamsho. Czyz throwing at Hamsho. Bad move as he's hammered again. And look out, that's out of the pages of the Wilfred Simeon bout. You may recall several years ago, Hamsho and Simeon got involved, and Simeon was sent flying out of the ring.
Again, Larry Hazard with a word to Hamsho. Let's cut that out. I think that was a bit of the novice in Bobby Czyz, who got hit hard and then tricked his fate by mocking Hamsho. The veteran didn't pay attention to it, just came back punching harder.
Lou Duva screaming, you gotta get off. Duva in the corner of Bobby Czyz, who usually looks to put the pressure on, keeps coming, relentless inside, but has not been allowed to do so by Hamsho.
Hamsho's activity is too much for Bobby Czyz right now. Again with the head. Hamsho with the head. But following all of those punches, Bobby looks a little rocky now. Shooting that right hand out. Bobby's not up. He's not electric. He doesn't have that tension in that fight that he usually has. In short, I am describing a fighter who is frozen.
That is Bobby Czyz Sr., who came leaping out of his seats a moment ago, screaming, "Stay convinced!" And Czyz at the rally.
Bobby Czyz finally came out of his shell and tried to fight with him, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to fight with Hamsho, because if not, Hamsho's just taking a ride.
And we're approaching 15 seconds remaining. Round 6. Mustafa Hamsho in the red has had his way throughout. Mustafa Hamsho and Bobby Czyz scheduled for 10. Gets set in his dressing room. He will defend his light heavyweight title by going up against Eddie Davis later on right here on NBC. Marv Albert with the Fight Doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, and Dick Enberg. We're live from Convention Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And this is round 7.
Piece of tape coming off the glove of Bobby Czyz's left hand. Sooner or later, they're going to have to stop that to cut off that piece of tape, because that can flick into an eye and that can do damage as well as a thumb. Incidentally, one of the greatest reasons for the thumbless glove is what you just saw 2 rounds ago.
How do you score it now?
3-2-1, and I've given it to Hamsho. It's quite unofficial. He may well be even further ahead. It may be a 4-2 fight if that even round was for Hamsho.
Scoring is on the round system, and if the round is even, they go to the 5-point must to break the deadlock.
Well, if it was his plan to wait till the later rounds to apply pressure, now's his chance, because he's got 7, 8, 9, and 10, and he better start doing something different.
And Czyz looking to go up on his toes.
That's his fight. In and out, punching and moving. This is not his fight when he stands still.
Referee Larry Hazard, with a very difficult task with 2 brawling-style fighters, has handled it well.
And it has not been nearly as bad as anticipated, for the simple reason that Hamsho didn't need to maul and brawl. He has been punching cleanly.
Combination by Czyz. Oh! By Hamsho! Just like that! That may have been Czyz's most effective punch of the evening. He stunned Hamsho after taking the hard shot, and another good left hand by Hamsho.
It may have been his best punches. He took the best and he gave the best. Back to the movement that his corner wants. In and out, fight. Oh, another one of those Scipion moves. Scipion being the victim, not the one that did the shoving.
There's Hamsho setting up with the elbow to deliver the left hand. They want Czyz to get out of the corner.
Let me have it out of there. Come on.
Bobby needs to punch. He cannot stand here.
Watch that elbow. All right, I got it.
Hazard again. Watch the elbow. When Hamsho misses with a punch, the elbow follows as the night the day, and Bobby is getting hammered.
The experience of the 29-year-old Hamsho dictating the play.
Okay, then do it. Do it.
Walk in and punch.
Bobby, fight. Come on, you gotta take all your shots now. Come on. Okay? You gotta start taking your shots, Bobby. Come on. Come on now, you gotta start coming on now. Come on, baby. Come on.
And there is Dwight Muhammad Qawi. So checking things out, watching Mustafa Hamsho and Bobby Czyz as Qawi gets set to go up against 3rd-ranked Eddie Davis, defending his WBC light heavyweight title for the 3rd time. That's coming up later on right here on NBC. This is round 8. And Hamsho out strong to open up.
Oh, that was everything. The round has been taken from Mustafa Hamsho. Larry Hazard has just taken that round because that was 3 of 4 fouls all at once. And curiously, he doesn't need it because he's way ahead and Czyz needs a knockout to win. He's getting himself into such a hole he can't get out.
And again, Czyz back to the southpaw style. Bobby Czyz coming in 20-0, 15 by knockout, a local favorite in the New Jersey area, and taking it only to Mustafa Hamsho, doubling up on the right and then the left.
Hamsho just gave him the back of a glove. When he missed, he gave him 6 or 7 straight jabs. Because Bobby doesn't punch back, he is able to get away with 6 or 7 jabs and then a right hand. What a boxing lesson Bobby Czyz is getting tonight.
Step back.
Mustafa Hamsho comes in at 34-2, 1 draw, 21 by knockout. Among his victories, wins over Curtis Parker, Alan Minter, Wilfred Scypion. His last fight was as a light heavyweight back in May, so it's been a long layoff, yet he has looked very sharp.
The difference in the experience of these fighters is startling. Mustafa Hamsho is trained by Patty Flood, who believes in his fighters fighting maximum effort every time. And we have seen Bobby Czyz has only 2 tough fights, Teddy Man and Sims. Do you think that's the difference, Marv?
Looks to be, because that the criticism going in concerning Czyz. Of course, we still have a couple rounds to go, but Czyz felt that he would quiet his critics. He has not done it to this point.
The only positive thing you can say is he's a young man and he has to learn from these lessons, and that is what makes a champion. As I keep saying, funny things happen on the way to the championship, and nights like this can teach you more than a world of work in a gymnasium.
So we come to the conclusion of round 8 and another solid round from Mustafa Hamsho.
Round taken away from Mustafa, and you see the foul. He pushes him with his forearm, hits him with his head, and drives his arm into the Adam's apple of Bobby Czyz. Bobby starting this round knowing he's got to fight.
And he caught Hamsho as we open up with round 9. A powerful right hand by Czyz, who may be in a position where he needs a knockout. Tough to tell because of the round that was taken away from Hamsho. But Czyz has come out a different fighter.
Now Czyz looks like the fighter that we've seen before, brawling and brawling.
The crowd responding to the rally of Wanakee, New Jersey's Bobby Czyz. Opening minute, round 9, scheduled for 10. Bobby Czyz Sr. in one of his more quiet moments. A minute gone by. 9th round. Watch the elbow, says Larry Hazard, this time to Bobby Czyz.
Bobby has got to continue to fight in that convincing manner, because while I think he needs a knockout, still he may still be in it because of that round that was taken away. But here comes Hamsho.
Excellent combination by Mustafa Hamsho.
Mustafa is fighting a fairly flawless fight.
Mustafa Hamsho, who is ranked 3rd by Ring Magazine, going up against Bobby Czyz, who is ranked 10th by Ring.
Mustafa Hamsho is just too physical, and he's too experienced for Bobby Czyz right now. He is doing everything a veteran fighter does to a novice. And
we're less than a minute left in this 9th round. When we look back at this one, good right hand by Czyz. The early difficulties of Czyz could be because he attempted to pace himself, something that Jerry Cooney criticized himself about going into the Larry Holmes bout. He said he was so concerned with going the distance, and that may be the same situation here.
I think so. You sort of outthink yourself. A veteran fighter takes that opening bell and he does everything he can every round and forgets about that master plan.
Final seconds, 9th round, and we will stay right here. Jerry Cooney taking it all in at ringside.
Many wonder if he's ever going to come back into the gym.
Well, he has made his return. He has begun his preparation, but the question is what his next fight will be.
Come on.
Listen, Bobby, you gotta knock him down.
Come on, now you gotta get out there, Bobby. This is it. Come on, we got everything gambling on it.
Slip that body, nice, bring it up.
Come on, that's now.
Okay? Slip to the body and give me an uppercut. Just keep going right back in. Don't let him back you up, you back him up.
Bobby, you gotta get off. You gotta get off first now. Come on, let's go. You got 3 minutes to go, baby. Come on, you can take this guy. Come on, pull it down. Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on.
And Mustafa Hamsho well in front on our scorecard, coming out for the 10th and final round. It appears that Bobby Czyz needs a knockout.
And I think his corner echoed those sentiments that you need a knockdown or a knockout. Bobby, curiously enough, is now up on his toes, a position he should have had through the first 5 rounds of this fight. As we know, one of the toughest things to do is to knock out a fighter when you have to, and Hamsho, curiously enough, has never been knocked out, and marvelous Marvin Hagler did all a human being could do to do so.
That fight was stopped in the 11th round as Hamsho required 50 stitches. He was cut up by Hagler back in October of '81. So Hamsho very difficult to knock down, but Czyz delivering here in this final round.
But he got caught twice and stopped him right in his track. Right in the middle of a beautiful combination, he got hammered. It looked like somebody just flicked a switch and he stopped cold.
And we're halfway through this 10th and final round.
There's finally blood on the left eye of Mustafa Hamsho, and what a shame after this game battle that Hamsho's put up to be cut in the final minutes of this bout.
The blood is pouring down the left eyebrow of Mustafa Hamsho.
That is truly a shame. He's fought such a hard fight. Bobby getting hammered now.
And again, thrown by Hamsho. Czyz was off balance. We're under a minute left. 10th and final round.
It looks like it's in the spot of that old cut with Hagler that took the... Hazard caught him on the first bounce like a good shortstop.
Second time that Czyz has been thrown down, and the rolling style of Hamsho is concluding matters very, very well.
And you know what you're seeing, Marv? It's the rage of Hamsho at being cut. He was cruising along content to win this fight, and now he's mad.
And Hamsho finishing very, very strong.
He is fighting like a street fighter now. He is so mad at being cut, and I cannot blame him.
So we come final seconds, 10th and final round. And on our scorecard, it appears no question about it. A victory for Mustafa Hamsho, about to end with a low blow. The scoring on the round system. If the round is even, they go to the 5-point must to break the tie. We'll be back with the decision right after we pause for these words. Back in Atlantic City for the decision. Let's go to the ring announcer, Ed Darian.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this great Murat Muhammad Incorporated and Main Events Promotions, we have a unanimous decision. And the scoring as follows. Judge Harold Riverman scoring at 7-3. Judge Tommy Kazmarek scoring at 7-1. And referee Larry Hazard scores it 5-4-1. And the winner, Mustafa Hamsho.
So Bobby Czyz, his unbeaten string ends at 20 in a row. Promising 20-year-old. He paid his dues tonight. Took on the third-rated middleweight in the world, Mustafa Hamsho, and was bested solidly, a unanimous decision. Let's go up to Marv Albert.
All right, Dick. First to Ferdy and Mustafa Hamsho.
First of all, I regret for that cut in that last round.
Bob, I can't take anything, you know. It's anything, you know, it can happen in boxer. Bob, he don't mean it. He butt me, you know. He taught me. Probably he don't mean, but I think he's very, very strong fighter. He take a lot of pressure from me. I don't accept it to be taken from me. He's a great fighter, and he has a lot of things to go.
Were you hurt by the punches that he hit you with in counter punching?
No. I have, thank God, thank Allah, and I have a lot of strong chin, you know. And this fight, I give it to Al Surdo because he's the guy in the beginning who bring me up. I want to thank God.
And thank Patty Flood and everybody at the Miami Fifth Street Gym where you train. And the Sunshine.
I want to thank to my friend.
All right, while we're talking about this, let me ask you one quick question. This young man was 20-0. Do you think he had the experience to get in with you today?
I know. I don't think he have a heart to go with me, but he proved it today. Bobby Czyz. I want to thank my friend who come all the way from Miami Beach. My two friends, Saud and Naif, and I appreciate it. Give me a lot of hope in Miami to train hard for this fight, and we thank God.
Okay.
And Allah.
Hamsho, you're talking as fast as you're punching. Let me get to Marv Albert, who's got a little bit different view.
All right, Ferdy. Bobby, how tough is this for you?
He's extremely tough. I think what was the case here was a little inexperience in the 10-round go, and he's got a little maturity, 29 to 20 in years and strength, and that was just a deciding factor. Because I had him, I thought I could outbox him lefty, switched to his own way. The jab was getting in. He was just too strong physically.
Why did you make the transition? It seemed from your corner they were unhappy as you continue to go from the conventional to the southpaw.
Well, my defense isn't quite as good as a lefty, so his consistency got through more than it should have. But he was very, very aware of my left jab, and he let me hit him with the right. That's what opened up 3 or 4 cuts, and I was going to try and use that to the best of my ability. But I had a few problems in there judging him. His head is tremendously hard, as well as his forearms and elbows. But we got each other a few times, and it's just one of those things.
What about being tossed down several times? There were, I would think, what can be labeled dirty tactics by both you and Mustafa, but what's your reaction to landing on the canvas on a couple of occasions?
I've had it in the amateurs where guys were just bulls, but I was able to get up and outbox them. Wasn't the case here. I got to get back to the gym. I'm going to take a little rest and heal up, and I'll be back, and providing he's still around next year, I'd like to get him again.
All right, the words of Bobby Czyz.
I have to apologize to my fans across the country, and I'm very sorry I let you down, and I'll be back, and I'm sure I'll make you proud of me again. Sorry about that.
Okay, let's get back to ringside to Dick Enberg.
All right, thank you, Marv.